smoke is quieting down. Seems like we've got to a lot of the smoke. Dub, you got smoke?
On episode 780 of the Joe Budden podcast, ICE finally stands his ground and checks Joe Budden. ICE is typically firm when addressing people like Queens Flip, Ish, and sometimes Imani. But Imani often calms ICE down when he's going too far. Imani has been known to tell ICE, or chill, you feel me? When things like, get a little tense. Now, however, in this particular clip, ICE flips the script by pressing Joe Budden about his failure to plan properly and show up to the podcast studio on time. Joe has always had a rebuttal, but this time ICE didn't back down. He held his ground, and you could tell Joe was visibly uncomfortable as ICE continued to press the issue. Right? Now, when ICE confronted Joe about being late, Joe sarcastically suggested that if the rest of the crew was dope enough, meaning good enough podcasters, they could have started without him. Look at the files.
Try to walk in with your stuff. Get this out of here.
Late
this
as
is
hell.
corny. Yeah.
We could have been an hour in already.
You could have had you started. Had you been dope enough to start?
Now you want to blame us?
Had you been dope enough to start?
I know. So you could come in and say, yo, erase all that out. Let me go ahead and do this.
Which
Joe,
goes back. That goes
us.
back to my statement. Had you been dope enough to start, if you was dope, I wouldn't come in and say erase all that whack shit y'all just did.
No, you
Bad
would.
tape.
Number two, I was on my way here, seeing your little post on Instagram. Oh, he's late.
I didn't say nothing.
Y'all know I'm in a whole nother state somewhere.
Hey, so was I.
Woke up at, where you was at?
Another state.
Where?
A different one. Not
Did
Jersey.
you drive?
Yeah.
All right, no, I had to travel through air.
Well, then you should have planned
You know
better.
what I mean? I did.
Same thing you told me last pod when I said I might not be here.
I did.
You was like, well, some of us plan accordingly.
I took a 9 a.m., 9:10 flight.
Should have took the 7:10.
Right.
What wasn't available?
Well,
wasn't available.
The PJ.
The very next flight, the PJ. Listen. The PJ. I took the 9:10.
Listen, man, all I hear is excuses.
Landed at, I'm just trying to talk to my audience. I'm just trying to talk to my audience, bro. 9 and walked in at 11:31?
Yeah, late.
Am I the best in the fucking world?
No, if you were the best, you'd have been here at 10:31.
I'm the best in the world at this.
You'd have been here at 10:31.
Now, y'all was here, right? Mm-hmm. Read to the audience your amazing board.
Stop that.
Let's read this. Let's read the board. I just want to read the fucking board.
We never read the board.
Bum ass niggas in here.
We never read the board.
You a bum,
Since you niggas
You
is
bum ass
bum.
nigga. We never read the board.
I got my reading glasses,
You
though.
deflecting, nigga.
that's
you
all.
came
Try to
late.
deflect it.
Here we go from the early bums.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanksgiving recap.
Yes?
Yeah.
We ate. It was good.
Well, yeah.
All right, next.
We drank. We ate.
One
went
topic
out.
down. One topic down. J. Cole mixtape on streaming. There's only 2 niggas here to listen to J. Cole. 2 topics down. That's fast. Ice Cube says Hollywood shut down another Friday. Oh, we grasping at straws at the 3rd topic here. Oh, that's what we got? All right. Let's do it.
That felt good to you?
Huh?
Did that feel
All
good?
stars.
Do you feel good?
You feel good now?
All
You happy now?
stars.
You happy?
Bitch.
Nigga deflected.
They mad at us because he late.
Yeah.
Right.
Nigga, get to work on time.
Now, as you can see, this didn't sit well with ICE, Queens Flip, or Melissa, right? And they immediately called out Joe and told him he is deflecting. everything when he tried to like get over and do all his Joe Budden antics. You feel me? Now, they pointed out that every time they've attempted to start the podcast without Joe, he's come in, erases the whiteboard, and tells them to restart the episode. Now, essentially, Joe's criticism felt unfair as he was undermining their ability to lead in his absence. You know what I mean? And we know that they can do it. They can do it without Joe. Now, it's worth noting that the cast has successfully podcasted without him multiple times. In December alone, there were several Joeless episodes, and things ran smoothly, in my opinion. Even earlier in the year, Queen's Flip stepped up as an A-Mic and did a fantastic job leading. Yet Joe's comments made it clear that he doesn't always have faith in his co-host when he isn't present. Now, this reminds me of a recent conversation on Spaces that I had, with Royce the 5'9" sister. And Rocky Thunder, she hosted that space. But Courtney, that's her name, Royce the 5'9" sister, she joined the stage and shared her perspective on the Joe Budden podcast. When I asked her directly, what were your thoughts on the show? She admitted that she rarely watches it, and she also stated that she feels that Joe carries the podcast every episode. Now, this opinion might be from her knowing the cast personally for over 20 years and having higher expectations for them. But for those of us who don't know them on a personal level, it's clear the cast holds their own, even without Joe. The issue is that Joe doesn't always respect or acknowledge their efforts, which perpetuates opinions like Courtney's. This is why I particularly was happy to see ICE standing up for himself. And Courtney also mentioned that during that Spaces conversation, that Joe likely keeps ICE around because ICE doesn't challenge him, making him an easy target for Joe's jokes and ranking. Now, she even referred to ICE as a yes man who lets Joe get away with dismissive behavior. But in this clip, we see the opposite. ICE held Joe accountable, even shutting him down when Joe tried to deflect by saying, "I'm just trying to talk to my audience, bro." Now, that statement felt dismissive to me, as if Joe was using his authority to avoid conversation. Yet ICE didn't let it go. But when Joe tried to toot his own horn by claiming he's the best at managing his time in podcasting, ICE quickly shot back with, "If you were the best, then you would have been here on time." That sounded like, a black mother talking to you or something like that. ICE was on his tail. Now, and honestly, ICE was right. Why can't Joe just take the criticism and own up to being called out? Instead, he often feels the need to humiliate his co-host in the process. He does it all the time. Joe reads the topics on the whiteboard and discredited them right away, even calling them bum co-hosts, early bums, all types of stuff, he said. It's frustrating to see, especially when the cast has proven they can carry the show without him. Now, what I've noticed is that while ICE and Queen's Flip often allow Joe to get his points off, Parks, Imani, and Ish usually stay quiet when Joe gets into this mode. I believe they do this because they're the ones who won't hold their tongues if Joe goes too far. Queen's Flip, on the other hand, can be confrontational, but he doesn't let his ego get the best of him. And he does hold Joe like, he's the big bro and he got to watch what he says, certain things. He does. Now, as for the audience, do you agree with Courtney's perspective that Joe carries the podcast? Or do you think the cast holds their own when Joe's not around? And should Joe show more respect to his co-hosts, especially when they're proven they can step up in his absence? And how do you feel about ICE standing up to Joe in this clip? Is this a turning point for his dynamic on the show? And what do you think Joe's reluctance to the accountability says about his leadership style? Right? Now, share your thoughts below in the comments, right? And let me know what you think about Joe being dismissive and all of that. And we'll be back with the files.
My God, Dub, too. That's my man, though.